So I did a previous tutorial on converting models from one game to another with Siret faces. This can be done with Blacktop and arenas and other things in the same way. If you have the same amount of vertices, the same amount of edges, the same amount of faces, you can convert any model into 2K13. The problems arise with UV mapping, where how the texture is mapped onto the model itself. The game doesn't usually like it when you take models from one part of the game and import it into another. But I will show you what I know with importing stuff like that, just in case it helps someone else. And I'll also show you how to trace things. So I'll probably do that first. Let's do the tracing first. So with the 2KX mod tool, let's open up 2K10 City Court. Go to 1, scroll down, and I want to take, I don't know if you remember the City Court from 2K10, but it had this ramp building on the side. And then let's say I want to use that for a street court I'm going to make in 2K13. So as you can see, there is that ramp building right there. And this is what I want to convert over to 2K13. So it's model part 3. So we're going to deselect 0 and select 3. Export res. And we're going to export it over to your Blender folder. And we'll call it 2K10 ramp. Success. Go over to Blender, where I already have a blank slate arena open. This isn't the blank slate arena, but this is one of my personal ones I did testing with. But this is the arena scaled down by 0.001. And this is how I'm going to do my basis on. These models you see here are actually the banners from the stadium, scaled down to act as buildings, but in this case I'm going to use them just with a basic concrete texture to map out what the building is going to look like in 2K13. So I can go to File and import a second N2KM file while this is open. And we're going to import the 2K10 ramp. As we can see, we don't see anything, so we can just do a scale command and scale it down by 0.001. Now we can see everything perfectly. Now, if I were able to find, so as you can see, I've right-clicked, selected this ramp part right here of the building. If I press Tab, and if I were to somehow be able to find a model in 2K13 where the part has 623 vertices, 850 edges, and 358 faces, I could do a Control-L link and just import this over, and it would probably be okay. The problem is that with stadiums, each of them are unique, and since we don't have this stadium in 2K13, I can't just do that. So I need to do the complicated thing and just trace this in 2K13, which is a pain. So 3-6 is this. We're going to have it selected. Control-L to link to scene to the 2K13 model. And then as we see, if we go over here and scroll down to 3-6, we now have this model inside this N2KM file. Now, we cannot export it like this, because remember, the model sizes need to be exactly the same when you export as from when you imported. So basically what I'm going to do is that assume that these models are just going to have a texture that is just concrete, just basic concrete. We're going to turn snaps on. And what I can do, I pressed A to deselect everything, is I can right-click to select a vertice, and if I right-click and drag, it turns into a transform. I can move it. And then using my snaps by holding Control, I can select the various parts of the ramp that I want to edit. So I can do a transform and snap it here. Here, I say. Zoom out, right-click and drag to move this, and put it there. And then I can do this here. Just, basic clicks. So I'm doing a right-click drag to select a vertice, holding Control to have it snap to a section. And just like that, I have created this little part of the ramp in 2K13 by tracing this other model on top of it. And I can do that for the rest of this building and for any model I want to. That is the easy way to do it. That is how I got this 3-point line and lines into the 2K into a stadium file instead of the floor file. I took the stadium seating from way up in the upper deck sections of the court. These seatings up here, these are all seats. And one by one, I clicked and dragged them to snap over the Rucker Park 3-point line and everything, which was a pain in the ass to say the least. Now, one thing I did try experimenting with was importing a complete model into the file by matching up the vertices and everything. So as you can see, if I press tab here and select all, I have over 4,000 vertices, 5,000 edges, 2,000 faces. The smartass in me was like, okay, let's take this model that has 600, 800, and 350 things, and do a pretty much a duplicate and merge it into this object up here, and delete out the extra ones, the extra edges and vertices and everything. And while the game didn't crash, it still didn't work. It just didn't work. That's the best way I can describe it. So that's off the table, unfortunately. You need to find a model. These are all objects right here. So you need to find an object that has the same exact amount of vertices, faces, and objects as the one you're trying to import. But that tracing technique is the best way to do it, in my opinion. And then when you're done with this part of it, just right click here, press delete, and then you can export. And as you can see, that little wall that I traced right here is still there. And it will be there, properly textured and everything in 2K13. This is very, very complicated stuff that even I don't fully understand and have yet to really use in a court. So I don't have much to say about it other than what I've said. So I hope this helps. You can ask me questions in the comments. I can do my best. This is by far an advanced thing that, like I said, even I don't understand completely. So do your best. Good luck. But I hope you learned something. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.